I was debating back and forth whether I was going to do a video about this because I didn't know the full entailment of the video until I sat back and looked at the title and just analyzed for myself exactly where this story was headed. But before I introduce the person in the picture, if you don't know who this actress is, this is Eliza Dushku. Those who grew up in the 90s, who were probably born in the 80s, maybe even the late 70s, should be familiar with who she is because she was on that show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was in the movie Bring It On and Wrong Turn. Those are the three main projects that I remember her on. She has done some other things since then, but those three stick out to me the most. Now, apparently, uh, there was some sexual harassment claims that she had made against her co-star on this show that comes on CBS called Bull. Her co-star being Michael Weatherly, and I've heard of him too. He is the lead actor on that show. He used to be on that show NCIS, and I also remember him being on that show called Dark Angel back in the early 2000s with Jessica Alba that came on Fox. So I'm very familiar with some of these actors, even if you aren't. And if by me mentioning some of the shows they were on, it'll come back to you. But anyway, apparently CBS secretly settled a harassment claim that she made against him for $9.5 million, and it just came out recently that they paid her this money, almost $10 million, basically, to not come forward with her claims. And it happened this year. So my guess is this happened right around the time when Les Moonves was still the CEO of CBS, because he got removed from that position in September, and I highly doubt that this happened 2 months ago. I'm sorry, 3 months ago. It happened this year, but I don't think it was that recent. So something tells me that he had to have known that this happened, and he found a way to make it quote unquote go away until now that is being brought back into the light. I'm not so surprised at that, because look at all the stuff that's come out about Les Moonves and all the stuff that he's doing to try to make his issues go away now that they're out there in the open. This just actually adds more fuel to his fire that's already pretty much burned the flame over there at that studio. They gonna listen. I think they need to do a clean sweep of everything over at CBS at this point, because everything that seemed to have started with him has trickled on down to everybody else. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this article that ironically is coming from CBS News. It says CBS confirmed it paid a secret. That's the main word right there, secret. $9.5 million settlement to an actress this year after she accused the star of the hit show Bull of harassment. Eliza Dushku was written off CBS Bull after she confronted Michael Weatherly about his behavior. The Times said when Dushku appeared on Bull last year, there were well-developed plans to make her a full-time cast member, but those plans allegedly ended after she came forward with allegations against the show's star. Now, this can either go one or two ways. Either one, she's telling the truth, and that's why they wrote her out of the show, or two, she could be lying, and she came forward with that because she knew she was going to be written out of the show, and that's why she came forward with such accusations. At this point, it's really kind of hard to tell. But with the whole thing with Les Moonves, I wouldn't be surprised if she was actually probably telling the truth, but I don't know. Those are the only two options that I could go with as far as weighing my options. It says Dushku played a lawyer alongside Weatherly for just 3 episodes in season 1. According to a draft report from lawyers hired by CBS board to investigate the company's culture and sexual misconduct allegations and reviewed by the Times, Dushku was written off the show within days of confronting Weatherly about behavior that made her uncomfortable. Among the allegations, he told a rape joke and said in front of the cast and crew that he would bend her over his leg and spank her. In another alleged incident on set, Dushku held up 3 fingers during a scene. She allegedly told investigators Weatherly suggested she wanted a threesome with him and another male cast member. After being written off the show, Dushku entered mediation with CBS. According to the Times, that's when a lawyer for CBS handed over outtakes from Bull in belief it would help their case, but it allegedly backfired. The Times report the outtakes were a goldmine that actually captured some of the harassment. Well, it looks to me like this actually, it looks to me like she wasn't even lying. If that's the case, then she was telling the truth. CBS investigators allegedly concluded the failure to recognize the harassment was a symptom of larger problems at the network. The network agreed this year to pay Dishku a confidential settlement of $9.5 million, roughly the amount she would have earned as a series regular. 8 months later, when CBS investigators approached her, she allegedly told them, "My story is true and it's really affected me." We reached out to Dishku, but she declined to comment. Weatherly did not immediately respond to our request for comment, but told the Times he immediately apologized to Dishku when she confronted him, and he realizes some of his language and attempts at humor were not appropriate. He denied asking for her removal. In a statement, CBS said, "The allegations in Ms. Dishku's claims are an example that while we remain committed to a culture defined by a safe, inclusive, and respectful workplace, our work is far from done." Now, see, she actually has a strong, solid case because of that document right there that actually can back up her claims, and the fact that she did not wait years down the line like some of these other women did and come forward years later when it's pretty much dried up information. And like I said, all of this happened while Les Moonves was still the CEO of CBS. So you can't tell me that he didn't know that this stuff was happening. He was probably the one that got the lawyer to try to make this go away. And like I said, the main word in the article was secret, meaning they slid her some money to keep her quiet. And this money, if it was so secret, means that it was pretty much unaccounted for, undocumented. It wasn't something that was written down somewhere saying, "Oh, we gave her this amount of money for this, that, and the third." Of course, they're not going to say that because that means they don't want any stain coming their way. But now that it's come out like this, it's really not a good look for them. And it actually helps her case even more. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments about this story. Do you think she's telling the truth, or do you think that she's lying? I'm almost lenient to say that she's probably telling the truth. I wouldn't be surprised, just based on what I read in this article. But you never know because of how this whole Me Too Time's Up thing has been going lately. So you just never actually really know. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.